Good morning, YouTubers. So, what I have sitting here is the throttle body off of the 3800 Series 3V6 GM. This is the one that's found in my 2008 Pontiac Grand Prix. I bought this one at a junkyard yesterday because if you've seen the last couple of videos in regards to the reduced engine power warning, I'm trying to now find a way to correct that problem. So I've noticed a trend in the weather conditions every time that I've had that issue. The last one actually being caught on tape. It's usually when it's really cool in the morning when I leave for work around 5:30, and there's a dampness outside. You got like your morning dew all over the car and such. And that's when it decides to come on after driving for about 5 minutes. Happens around the same time, anytime the early morning is like that. So, even though the warning suggests that it could be the accelerator pedal itself, which 90% of the time I've heard it is, because of the weather, how the conditions are, I was told that it very well could be this part of the throttle body here, which is the throttle actuator control. And the kicker is General Motors never really allowed you to get this part by itself. You have to order the entire throttle body. So I was able to find one of these at a junkyard for 35 bucks. I decided to buy the whole thing. The actual body's not too bad. It needs to be cleaned out just a bit on the actual inlet side. You can see the back side is still pretty carbonated. The reason why I'm not replacing the whole thing is because I don't feel like dealing with it. Plus this whole gasket here you have to replace, and from what I was told, you have to order it. You cannot get it in any store. So all I really want is the electronics part. I'm assuming on mine there's probably moisture getting into the electronics somehow. Hopefully it's not in the wiring harness or anything. So I did try this part yesterday and it did not work at all. I was also making a video with this yesterday on my cell phone which came out decently, but I wanted to use the real camera today. So the one additional thing I'm going to do today when I do this is I am going to unhook the battery. I do want the computer of the car to reset itself, similar to what we did when I wanted to correct the transmission shutter, which it did work, but now since this problem has actually surfaced, my transmission is doing the shuttering thing back and forth again, so I wanted to reset it anyway. So hopefully if we reset the or unplug the battery and reset the computer while we're putting this in, we'll see if it makes a difference. But this part yesterday didn't work at all. The car was idling really poorly, and if you hit the accelerator pedal, the engine did not rev up one bit. So hopefully the part isn't defective. If it is, we will get another one, but they told me to try and reset the battery for like 15-20 minutes, and that's what we're gonna do. So that'll probably be unhooked when we change it out. So regardless, this video is going to be showing you how to what the inside of the throttle body actually looks like, and what you need to do to get there. So it's actually not that difficult. You have 4 security Torx screws that you're going to need to remove. You'll need a flathead screwdriver to simply just kind of pry around the sides to kind of loosen it up, and then you pull it off. That's all there really is to it. So I had to buy a special Torx, security Torx thing. I believe it's this size here, which is TT20. So we'll go ahead and remove those. Okay, so all the screws are out. Now I'm just going to take the screwdriver and carefully pry on the sides. This is the bottom, actually. By the way, this is bottom side up. The top of the throttle body is actually sitting on the table because it's a little bit smoother. So. Go. And that's that. So this is the actuator. I was told that the throttle positioning sensor, I believe, is built into this. Reading off of that sprocket right there when it goes into there. So I heard that, or it's either built into the accelerator pedal itself with those sensors, but it makes sense that it would be built into this, so I'm assuming that's what that part is. And then you just have the two prongs there which read the actual accelerator sensor. So there's those two prongs there. And the inside doesn't seem as complex as you'd think. It's a very interesting concept. Judging from the looks of the car, it might have actually rained last night. The rest of the ground stuff seems dry, but I don't know. Anyway, so here we are again under the hood of the Series 3. First thing that we do, of course, is remove the oil filler and remove the top cover. Then you want to put the tube back on so that way nothing falls in there and contaminates the oil. So, first thing is first, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect the battery terminals. Okay, so the battery's disconnected. And then when this I kind of explained it in the previous video when cleaning the throttle body. It's not that difficult. Just carefully remove this white pin by sliding it out. You don't want to lose that. It's very, very important part. And then you pull this up and it starts to slide the contact out of the way. Just like that. So now it is free again for removal. And then you just have the same 4 screws on the sides. The one over here is a little difficult to get to unless you have a actual screwdriver with a Torx end on it. But yesterday when I did it, it was very hot over here still because of the exhaust and the radiator tube. So doing it today shouldn't be as difficult. So we'll go ahead and take that off and exchange the parts yet again. Okay, so this is mine. Took mine off. There's the inside of it. Not much to see, of course. Here's the inside of my throttle body itself. Pretty much the same thing. What's inside. Now we'll go ahead and just snap this one back on. And then I'll leave the battery unhooked for a few more minutes. Then once you put the screws in, it'll form a little tighter around the actual body. Okay, so the battery's now hooked back up. I went ahead and took off the that support bar. It does make it a little bit easier to get to the contacts, making sure they're put back on properly. The used throttle body is in place, hooked up. So now let's see what happens. Please note that the old part did not malfunction right away. This one, yesterday when I hooked it up, immediately, even before the car was started, the reduced engine power warning did come on. So as of right now, the original part that came with the car is a lot better than the other one, obviously. So let's see what happens. Yeah, still there. Nothing. There it goes. Well, well, that's what that does. I guess we'll go ahead and put the old one back on again. Alright, so took the used one off. My original one's back on. Disconnected the battery again. And then I put the reconnected it and put the support bar back on. Should be back to normal. All right. Anyway. I'll get another part tomorrow because today's Sunday. So I'll have to go up there tomorrow morning. We'll get another part. If that part doesn't work, I'm going to see if there's any other way to maybe see if it does need to be relearned completely somehow. I won't make a video on the next removal. I just wanted to kind of show everybody how to take care of that. But and then hopefully I can get my issue completely resolved. But I'm honestly hoping it's not one of the wiring harness. There's a short in a wire somewhere, because that's not going to be easy. That's definitely something I won't be able to handle. So, alright everyone, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. I'll talk to you later. Bye.